If you're a regular Snowflake user, you're likely already familiar with Snowflake's Snowside UI, which replaced the classic UI. Originally, they planned to sunset classic UI in early January 2023, but that does appear to have been pushed back. But whether you're a Snowside fan or not, you might be interested in exploring alternative interfaces or IDEs for working with Snowflake. I've captured 4 of the big alternatives out there. This isn't an exhaustive list, nor meant as an in-depth overview, but just to give you some direction towards finding the right tool for you. I can't possibly do these tools justice without making this an hour-long video. Before we dive into the alternatives, why might you want to use Snowside, and why might you want to consider looking elsewhere? Well, Snowside does have a lot of great administrative tools, such as activity monitoring and warehouse usage. And if you're doing analysis work, Snowside makes it easy to save your query output as a chart, which you can then pin to a dashboard. Throw in some decent object searching and exploring tools, and one of my favorite features for data profile statistics pane, and there's no shortage of reason to stick with Snowside. That being said, the inability to have tabbed or tiled queries can really hamper productivity. Add in the lack of Git integration for your query files, and the fact that the data visualization tools are really only useful for some basic use cases, and you can quickly find that unless you really need immediate access to those administrative tools, you might find yourself more productive elsewhere. VS Code is Microsoft's general-purpose code editor. Whilst a little more basic in isolation, what makes VS Code one of, if not the most popular code editor on the planet, are its extensions, allowing you to adapt VS Code to pretty much any workload. And in late 2022, Snowflake released its extension for VS Code. The extension is still in its infancy and is still in preview, so it isn't going to be as comprehensive as some of the other tools we're going to discuss. However, you do have access to other extensions to work with alongside the Snowflake extension, vastly increasing the functionality. And of course, you have VS Code's native features such as great Git integration. What's more, if part of your broader workflow is already in VS Code, being able to work directly with Snowflake within that same environment is a huge productivity boost. I'm often building and maintaining dbt models, so being able to work on this with a general query window open alongside it is huge. Unlike some of the other options we're going to explore, this is a zero-cost add-on. I did do a short video specifically on the VS Code extension a little while back, so be sure to go and check that out. dbeaver is an all-purpose SQL IDE that supports a wide range of database types. Whilst there are paid-for versions, I'm using the Community Edition, which for general SQL queries will give you everything you need. There are more advanced and development features available in the paid versions, so be sure to check out what you do and don't get with each. Whilst I've not used dbeaver extensively with Snowflake, I have used it with DuckDB, and has been my go-to recommendation for anybody wanting to work with an IDE with DuckDB, and offers both an easy-to-pick-up-and-go toolkit right from the start, but also includes many more powerful features for those wanting to use this as their daily productivity tool. As I mentioned, alongside their Community Edition, there are paid-for versions as well with broader set of tools, especially for those doing general database development work. DataGrip as released by JetBrains, who are no stranger to IDEs, creating some of the most well-loved and comprehensive development programs out there. And DataGrip brings the best of their experience to SQL editing and database server management. Like dbeaver, it's an all-purpose SQL IDE connected to a long list of sources and is jam-packed with useful functionality that will keep power users busy for weeks. I can't possibly do it justice, and I ran out of time on my own trial just testing it all out. I especially like being able to tell DataGrip which databases and schemas and objects I'm actually interested in, and to ignore everything else. Perfect for a decluttered setup. And being prompted to select which statements I want to execute and quickly toggle between them is a real time saver. I highly recommend their Introduction to DataGrip video released by the JetBrains team. They speed run through the feature list, and it still takes them over 40 minutes to do so. DataGrip is a paid-for product though, although they do offer a wide range of licenses and discount types to suit different needs. Popsicle is almost as opposite to DataGrip as you can get. That's not to say it's not feature-rich, but that whilst DataGrip is perhaps more focused on power users, Popsicle focuses on ease of use and collaborative working. Being able to access your environment from both the desktop application and the web application with your configuration and queries all synced across them is a great feature, as is its dbt integration, albeit this is more of an integration of the schema and model definition and not part of a dbt development workflow, like you might set up in VS Code. I first used Popsicle in early 2020, and I have to say, coming back to it recently, it's evolved beautifully since then. You can have queries run on a schedule without your local machine needing to be online, share and discuss code and output, create charts, etc. And I know they have some great new features on their roadmap, such as notebook form queries. Whilst there is a free version of Popsicle, it's really on the paid plans where you're unlocking the key features of this service. What I have found with Popsicle though, is the team there are still finding their fee when it comes to the pricing model. I've seen it jump around quite a bit over the years. In fact, when we look at Wayback Machine, we can see it was around $10 per user per month for premium, $16 per user per month for premium team, compared with about $30 per user per month for premium today, with a minimum of 5 licenses, and $40 per user per month for what they now call business, with a minimum of 10 licenses. And that doesn't include what I would consider some fairly fundamental features such as Git integration, for which you need to be on their enterprise plan. Well, there you have it. 4 alternative IDEs for working with Snowflake. Which one's your favorite? For me, I'm still using VS Code, and that's probably how I'm going to be for a little while now. But what did I miss? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to check them out. Thanks.